The successful integration of new technologies into a corporate environment depends heavily on an organization's ability to foresee and mitigate potential harms to individual data subjects. We are exploring how to conduct and document a professional privacy impact assessment that satisfies the rigorous standards of both global regulators and internal auditors. Typically, a high-quality assessment acts as a preventive technical and administrative control, ensuring that privacy is not an afterthought but a core requirement of project success. In practice, a privacy impact assessment or PIA is a structured process used specifically to identify, evaluate, and reduce privacy risks in new projects, systems, or business processes. What this means is that we are adopting a proactive posture, using a documented methodology to ensure that innovation never comes at the expense of human rights or legal compliance. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyber.author.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. A foundational requirement for a mature privacy program is the professional practice of applying a mini PIA to even the smallest software updates or routine process changes within your department. You'll often see that significant privacy risks are not always found in massive, new product launches, but can hide within minor changes to how data is shared or stored. In practice, this consistent application of the assessment process helps the team develop a privacy-first mindset that becomes a natural part of the technical development lifecycle. Typically, these smaller reviews provide a valuable training ground for the team, allowing them to refine their investigative skills before tackling more complex organizational shifts. What this means is that you are building a culture of continuous oversight where every technical change is viewed through the lens of its potential impact on the individual. A major and frequently occurring pitfall in organizational governance is treating the privacy impact assessment as a one-time, check-the-box task that is filed away and forgotten once a project begins. If the technical scope of a project changes or a new data processor is added, the original assessment may no longer reflect the actual risks facing the organization and its users. In practice, a PIA must be treated as a living document that stays current and is updated throughout the entire life cycle of the system or process. Typically, an outdated assessment is a significant liability during a regulatory audit, as it suggests the organization is not actively monitoring its own data protection efforts. This realization highlights why the administrative discipline of regular review and version control is a mandatory requirement for any professional and defensible privacy program. You can achieve a significant and immediate quick win for your governance efforts by implementing a standardized and professionally vetted template for every single privacy assessment conducted across the entire organization. Using a common format ensures that every project is evaluated against the same high standards and that no critical questions regarding data minimization or security controls are accidentally overlooked. In practice, a standardized template allows the legal and compliance teams to review multiple projects much more efficiently and provides a consistent look and feel for auditors. Typically, these templates include specific sections for data flow diagrams, risk descriptions, and the formal sign-off from key stakeholders. What this means is that you are using administrative consistency to bolster the organizational integrity and the legal defensibility of your entire privacy management framework. It is worth taking a moment to visualize a successful project where privacy and security were built in from the very first day because your team identified the potential risks during the initial design phase. In such a scenario, there are no expensive, last-minute technical rewrites or awkward legal delays because the necessary safeguards were already part of the foundational architecture. Typically, this level of foresight creates a smooth path to market and builds a deep sense of confidence among the executive leadership and the project investors. In practice, an early assessment allows the engineering team to choose the most privacy-friendly tools and configurations before the code is even written. This visualization helps us see that a well-documented PIA is not a hurdle to innovation, but the essential roadmap for building a trusted and sustainable digital product. In the specialized field of privacy engineering, we use the specific phrase privacy by design to describe the ultimate goal of integrating data protection and individual rights into the entire development lifecycle. This concept means that privacy is a default setting rather than an optional add-on, ensuring that systems automatically protect the user without requiring them to take any complex actions. Typically, APIA is the primary technical tool used to achieve this goal, as it forces the design team to consider the privacy implications of every architectural choice. In practice, privacy by design leads to more resilient systems that are fundamentally less likely to suffer from data breaches or regulatory challenges. What this means is that your assessment work is the essential mechanism for translating high-level ethical principles into concrete technical realities for the organization. Reviewing your completed and signed assessments on a regular basis helps you provide objective proof to a judge, a regulator, or an auditor that your organization fully considered the potential impact of its actions on the individuals involved. This documentation serves as the evidence of due diligence, showing that the company acted as a responsible steward of data and took reasonable steps to mitigate any identified risks. In practice, even if an unforeseen incident occurs, the presence of a thorough and honest PIA can lead to significantly lower fines and a more favorable legal outcome. Typically, the law rewards organizations that can demonstrate a proactive and documented commitment to understanding the consequences of their data processing. This commitment to documentation ensures that your organization's professional good faith is always backed by a verifiable paper trail. One can easily imagine a challenging and high-stakes scenario where a major product launch is delayed for several months simply because the team failed to identify a significant privacy or security risk until the final stages of testing. These last-minute discoveries can be devastating for the organization's competitive position and can lead to a total loss of trust from the business units that rely on the technology. Typically, the cost of fixing a privacy flaw at the end of a project is 10 times higher than addressing it during the initial design phase through a proper PIA. In practice, these delays are almost always preventable if the assessment process is initiated at the same time as the business requirements are first drafted. This scenario serves as a powerful reminder that your timing and your administrative discipline are just as important as your technical forensic skills. Every professional strategy for impact assessment should be anchored in the fundamental requirement to find a professional and ethical balance between the business goals of the company and the legal rights of the individual user. An effective PIA does not simply say no to a project, but instead identifies the specific technical and administrative controls that allow the project to move forward safely. In practice, this might mean suggesting the use of pseudonymization, implementing shorter data retention periods, or requiring more granular consent from the users. Typically, the most successful practitioners are those who can navigate these competing interests to find a path that protects the organization's innovation while respecting the user's privacy. What this means is that your role is to act as a strategic advisor who ensures that the organization's growth is built on a foundation of trust and legality. We have now covered the primary structure of a professional PIA and discussed the absolute importance of documenting your specific risk mitigation steps for use as future legal and regulatory proof. By building a robust and repeatable framework for these assessments, the organization is taking a significant step toward achieving a more mature and resilient information governance posture. Typically, the most effective programs are those that integrate these reviews directly into the sprint cycles and the procurement workflows of the technical and business teams. In practice, this ensures that every new vendor relationship and every new internal system is vetted for its privacy implications as a routine part of business operations. This integrated approach to impact assessment is what transforms a simple checklist into a high-performing and business-aligned privacy management engine. A highly effective technique for organizational success is to use the assessment process as a formal opportunity to collaborate with the engineering team on finding better, more secure, and more efficient ways to handle sensitive data. When the privacy professional and the developer work together during the PIA, they can often identify technical solutions like tokenization or differential privacy that protect the data while still allowing for powerful analytics. In practice, This collaborative spirit reduces the friction that can sometimes exist between the compliance and the technical departments, leading to a more unified defensive posture. Typically, these discussions lead to innovations in data management that benefit the entire organization and improve its overall security culture. What this means is that your assessment is a catalyst for technical excellence and a powerful driver for organizational integrity and professional growth. Documenting these assessments thoroughly and with professional discipline shows the world that your organization takes its privacy obligations seriously and acts with a high degree of integrity in all its digital dealings. When the organization's practices are transparent and its records are impeccable, the business can defend its innovations with total professional confidence and certainty. Typically, a mature program uses these standardized workflows to ensure that every decision is made with an eye toward its long-term impact on the individual and the organization's reputation. In practice, the energy you spend on perfecting your PIA and documentation protocols today is a direct investment in the long-term legal and financial health of the entire enterprise. This focus on assessment is what ensures that your governance program remains a verified, trusted, and highly effective reality in the modern digital world. This unit on the essentials of documenting privacy impact assessments that stand up to scrutiny is now complete, and you have gained a solid understanding of how to proactively manage data risk. We have discussed the definition of APIA, the role of privacy by design, the importance of living documentation, and the value of standardized templates and cross-functional collaboration. A warm and very practical next step for your own professional growth is to take a moment today and find a reputable standard PIA template online, such as those provided by a National Data Protection Authority. As you read the template, consider how each question helps to uncover a specific type of privacy risk and how you would answer those questions for a current project in your department. Moving forward with this observant and disciplined mindset will help you ensure that your organization's digital truth is always safe and fully defensible.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit DailyCyber.News.